Hi there, welcome. My name is Simon Girvin and welcome to Launching Agile Projects as we explore another artifact on the Inception deck. And this artifact is actually the final one. And it's another quite interesting one, it's another template based one, and it's another one that looks simple on the face of it, but putting some investment into it can really pay dividends. It's called What's Going to Give. And what this is about starting to be a bit more honest with our stakeholders and assuming, just for argument's sake, things might not go well. If that happens, what should we do? That's all it is really. It's about saying, okay, let's place the things that might happen and the responses to them and have some kind of priority for them. So typically we've got the main four. Cost, schedule, quality and features. Which do you want me to compromise on? If I need to deliver and I'm having a problem, something's going to slip. If I do nothing, then what will probably happen in reality is either schedule will be the first thing to slip because the team will get stalled and they'll need to go and ask somebody for what to do, but at that point you've missed your chance to deliver. Or the team will be smart and intelligent and they'll try to do the best thing and they'll decide what to do, whether they put more effort on it and increase the cost, whether they slip the schedule, or whether they drop some features. As a stakeholder, I probably don't want the team to have all that control, but I also probably don't want them to wait and come and see me when it happens. So what's going to give is all about trying to give that clarity and that priority and that confidence in the team, that trust in the team up front. So I take those things, the first four, and then other things that might matter to me, things like maybe security or performance or accessibility or scalability or uptime or cost of runtime or something like that. And I decide how important they are. Must they happen, in which case I mark them far to the left, or actually can I be quite flexible on this? So for example, if you're delivering a product that's aimed at Black Friday, schedule is going to be a must-do. There's no point in releasing that on Monday or Tuesday after, just no point. So therefore schedule is really important. In other situations it might be something else. It might be the budget is absolutely a fixed budget and I can't exceed the budget, so I've got to have whatever I can with that. But it's really about trying to have that conversation with the stakeholders. Now you might expect that some stakeholders will want to ramp everything to the left. Everything's a must. I've only got a fixed budget, I need these features, I've got to have it by Black Friday, I've got to be scalable and security conscious and all those things, so just go do it. Now, in that situation, all you've really done is defer the whole choice back to the team. You might as well have everything on the left because everything's flexible, because you just can't have that. What you can do though is have that conversation about saying, okay, well if that is the case, which do I compromise on first? And you can play some games with this as well. So say we've got 7 elements and we've got a score of 0 to 5. If you say, well, take 20 points, you've got to spend 20 points. Obviously, the maximum you can spend is 35 for all 7 elements, or 5. I can be flexible on this. But if you're forcing the customer to spend 20, then he or she's got to put something away from 0. And the things that don't go away from 0, they're the things they really care about. And that's what this is all really about. It's about saying in advance to the team, this is how I'll be thinking if things go wrong. If I can share that knowledge with you, then you can have that in mind when you're helping to stop things go wrong or responding in crisis situations. One more thing with what's going to give is sometimes teams can feel it's a bit disempowering. It's taking decisions away from them. In reality, it's doing the opposite. It's empowering the team, it's giving them some structure and some guidance. Just as you would set the team's strategic direction at the beginning, you're doing the same with this. You're saying them, here's the strategic decision making that's going to be informing what things happen in the future, so you're empowered to take those decisions yourselves. So it's really about empowering the team, and it's about not forcing those decisions up and out of the team, but allowing the team to make those decisions at the time they arise with the information that they have, because probably they're best placed to be making those decisions. It's also, with the stakeholders' perspective in mind, it's about making these decisions with a cool head. Before they've become a crisis, when you can take a proper objective look and maybe assess the impact a bit more, rather than having a knee-jerk reaction when the team say to you on Thursday afternoon that it's not going to be ready for Friday morning. So that's what it's all about. What's going to give, trying to get those conversations up front, because we all know delivering projects is hard and in all likelihood something will go wrong. That's the whole point of the responding to change part of the Agile Manifesto. Let's anticipate change and plan for it and be able to respond to it, rather than just put our fingers in our ears and hope it won't happen. What's going to give exposes that conversation right up front at the beginning, and it forces your customers to accept that actually probably things will happen that you don't want to happen. So what are you going to do about it? What's going to give when that happens? Again, it doesn't need to be a huge amount of effort. like many of the other artifacts, it's a temperature check, it's a way to expose different thinking. If you've got multiple stakeholders, doing this independently with them can expose different perspectives. That's really interesting. And don't worry about the scores, they're not something you're going to be held to particularly, but as a team, when you get to the point where you're struggling to complete a sprint, look to the What's Going to Give board to give you some guidance as to whether you should be putting more effort onto it, or deferring things into further sprints and increasing the size of the team, or dropping scope, or renegotiating with your stakeholder for schedule or whatever. Use it as a guide and use it as a way of getting a bit of insight into your stakeholder's mind as you go through the product delivery. So that's What's Going to Give, the final proper artifact of the Inception deck. But I'll come back in the next episode and talk to you a bit more about the real final one, which is called the final test, and it's drawing the whole thing together and saying, have I got enough information to proceed or not? So join me next time. See you then. Bye now.